last week we were working on that past life that you had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of the woman who was an oracle and and couldn't couldn't leave, right?
Yeah.
She
She,
couldn't leave where she was because she couldn't make that choice to leave. She felt like she had no choice.
yeah.
So, do you want to go back to that, or is there something else that you want to work on?
Um, I'm still stuck with, well, when I wrote to you when I was in the park, like the day after, you remember when
Hmm.
I emailed you and
Yeah.
yeah, it was, I just couldn't, I think you wanted me to see if she had choice. And it was just impossible. Like I just couldn't feel it. It was an oppressive, ça se dit en anglais, oppressive
Oui.
feeling like that she's imprisoned there and she's just that's her that's her life. She has no other choices.
Ouais.
And then I'm just trying to I was just going back to that image of her in the place she is and what's going on. And I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
well, she's been there for so long that she doesn't have a knowledge of choice at all. That's not a concept that she know.
Right.
So where does that come from and how can she change that? That's my question.
Okay. So, do we want to go back to that then?
We could go back to that and then or what I felt the most this week because I kept thinking about how the whole issue shift from I don't want to hurt others to I don't want to hurt myself to oh that's gonna and then I had a feeling of and I'm sure you remember that I said well if I push forward and I like for me becoming big enlightened uh, in consciousness seems to me that it's so difficult, like energy consuming. I feel tired just thinking about it. And I didn't have the feeling at the time we were doing the session last week. But this week, like that's it. I just and this is a feeling I have all the time. These these days, it's a feeling of overwhelm all the time. Like when a good idea or a project comes to me, even if my at my job, even if I don't like my job, sometimes I like some projects and then I become really excited that oh yeah I want to do this and then I see all the possibilities and then a split second after it just all melt together and it's like oh no it's too complicated I cannot chunk it up I cannot do anything with that that's too big that's too complicated that's I'm just tired thinking about it so overwhelming right off the bat.
Right. Which sounds a lot like what we were talking about with this woman, your oracle, who can't even think about the expansiveness, who can't think about,
Yeah,
you know, getting out of where she is.
yeah, because it
Yeah.
seems that she's just there for one reason. It's for her gift
Yeah.
of intuition, for her gift of knowing things before they happen, or her deep sense of how to guide people. And then this is all she does, and she's just tired. Like
Right.
she's
So
drained.
I wonder why you're holding yourself back from being that person.
That
Cuz
oracle, you mean?
that's because think about it. You're being called to do that kind of work.
Yeah.
And no
Mm-hmm.
wonder you don't really want to do it
No, that's
because
it. It's just
you
a
have
hassle
this
to me to think about it. Like I
but
even
that's
if
what
I
I'm saying. But
yeah,
that's what I'm saying,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
you've got this woman in in your past who is like tired and who is stuck doing something that she has no choice to do. Why would you choose to do that again in this lifetime
no, yeah, yeah,
if that
yeah,
pain is there? So
yeah,
obviously, we still have to go back. We do have to go back to that lifetime because that's holding a lot of energy for you.
yeah,
So we've got to get her feeling better either about her situation so it doesn't feel like a prison,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she's choosing it, or allow her to choose something else.
Yeah.
But either way, we have to get her to a place where she's choosing what she's doing. And it's going to be hard because, well, no, it's not going to be, it doesn't have to be hard, but she hasn't had a choice all her life,
Uh-huh.
right?
I had a thinking of, because the feeling I have regarding that past life is that she's gonna stay there because that's her gift. I just need her to see that it's not always painful. Like sometimes it is time consuming. I mean, if I talk to any, I mean, I would have Jenny Johnston in front of me, and I'm sure she feels tired and overwhelmed sometimes. I mean, that's the reality of doing what she does. I mean,
Don't you
conferences,
think that,
courses,
yeah, but don't you think everybody in any,
everybody. Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. Yeah, there's no black of white and white. That's the gray zone. So by sometimes it's going to be really exhausting, but I would like her to see.
but you feel tired and overwhelmed in your regular job.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's common. I just need to accept it, but I want to
Yeah,
see. I want her to see the other side of the coin. Like all the time that it was fun to do it, that she
yeah.
changed something, that she saved the life, all the time that the sunshine were coming in the tower and she could feel it and she could rest for a moment instead of just focusing on what's painful.
So why have you already decided for her that she will choose this?
I don't know if she's going to choose it, but that's what when I was thinking about it, what came up was that, oh, she's only seeing one side of the coin.
Okay.
She's only seeing what's the hard part of
Because
having.
what you did say a moment ago was she's going to choose she's going to keep doing it, but she's going to be happy about it.
I just feel the feeling I have regard when I look at
Yeah.
her and I see her, I I don't feel that she wants to leave. She
Of
want to
course
stay.
but that's the thing.
Yeah,
She wants to stay
yeah,
because I'm not saying she won't make that choice, but of course she feels like she doesn't know any different.
yeah.
So she has there's nothing in her
Mm.
that says that it's possible. She's in a prison of her mind. There's
Ouais.
nothing in her saying it's possible for me to want to leave. So, yeah, maybe she will choose.
But
Last week I kept,
even if she leaves and she
yeah,
chooses something else,
yeah,
there's gonna be hard stuff and there's
yeah,
gonna
of
be good
course.
stuff.
Yeah, of
I just
course.
don't want her like to keep the same pattern that I have now to say, well, how can I say that?
No,
hmm?
I get it.
Ouais.
I totally get it. We want her to be in that situation
Yeah,
in a good space. So we want to
yeah.
release all of the bad stuff that's happening in the situation that
Okay,
she's
so
in.
this is what I meant though. So whatever she chooses, I just want her to be conscious of two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
So it's not because she stays if she stays in the tower, it can be a good thing. But if she thinks that by going out, if she realizes that she can go out and choose something else, it's not going to be happy day all the time as well. She's going to find some struggles, some obstacles. She's going to find her dark sides of things. She's going to be tired, overwhelmed. She's going to be in pain at some point. But there's going to be so much good stuff as well.
Right.
This is what came.
And
Yeah.
and tools to release the overwhelm and the pain. You don't have to sit in
Yes.
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to sit and just complain
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I remember last week at the end, I kept saying, so is she choosing to stay? And you could never answer it. You were answering me in these different ways, but you were never able to actually say, yes, she's choosing it. And I was
I
like, she's
had
not.
no feeling of whatsoever that she could choose, and that's
I know, but
something.
that's why I'm
Ouais,
saying,
c'est
right?
ça.
It's
Mais
not a choice, and we want her to be choosing it.
and this is something I kind of live in this life that I say, oh, we can choose whatever we want, and then do I really think I have choice? And I think that I'm in this same mindset of hers. She's me. I mean, me and her are
Well,
the
yeah,
same. She's just in a
exactly.
different time zone or
Yeah. Yeah, in a
dimension.
different dimension. Yeah.
She's in a different dimension. But even if I have freedom here, I don't feel that I have that freedom to choose who I want to be. I still feel that prison.
Exactly.
I still feel that I need to stay in the military because of money issues. I have to do this. I have to do that. I hate this, and it triggers me when I think about it, and I become angry. I posted
Yeah.
something on my wall. I don't know if I took it. I took it from your timeline on Facebook. That is it. Was it you? I think it was your Facebook. There was a list of emotions and what they mean. Was it yours?
No, it's possible.
Okay, there was one written anger, and I read the definition of anger, and I just wanted to cry.
Mm.
I can't remember word by word, but it was something like, if you feel angry, then you need to, the value or how you see the world need to change.
Mm.
And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I'm proclaiming. This is why I feel such an imposter sometimes, because I say things. I'm a life coach. I say things to people. You have your own emotional freedom. You can choose whatever you want. And I don't live by my own rules. So maybe this is why I shut that door of completely being a life coach that I want to be, because I have that imposter maybe feeling that is super
Yeah,
strong.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you're doing the work, right?
What?
Like I was thinking about this morning. Actually, I was thinking about um, because I mean, we're just talking about I have the same sort of issue with money, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
I have all, but it's not because you don't believe. Like I have all of these beliefs, the spiritual beliefs and everything, and I can see other people the way the universe sees other people, but it's different to do it yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, well, a surgeon wouldn't operate on themselves. Like a surgeon can operate on other people, but can't operate like a gynecologist cannot do their own internal exam,
Unless
right?
you're very flexible.
Well, see,
Wait. No,
so
I hear you. I hear
so it's
you. Yeah.
the same thing, and at least there are a lot of people in this situation who don't do their own work. All they do is espouse and teach other people,
Why?
but they don't do their own work. And at least you're doing your own work and you're trying to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
not being an imposter, right? That's just trying to get you're all you're doing is you're trying to get from what you believe in and putting it inside of you. So,
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So your oracle,
Mm-hmm.
she feels anger. Is she angry or is she just kind of, or
No,
you're
I feel
angry for her?
angry. That's my main emotions all
Okay,
the
so
time.
you're angry
Yeah.
for her.
Uh.
If we're talking to her and seeing how
Mm-hmm.
she feels, because if she's just feeling like there's no choice and I'm just stuck here.
Why? How does she feel? She feel overwhelmed, tired. She feels. I
What is
see
she,
a lot. I see more sadness in her.
okay, and what is her sadness? What is she sad about?
Um. Sad of not being happy.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Like if she knows that there's something else out there, but
yeah,
it's just out of reach.
yeah.
So she feels really sad, but sad and anger goes pretty much end to hand, I think. So it's a mix of when she's not when she's not angry, she's tired and then sad, and then it's kind of a cycle.
Okay. So, do you do the chest sore
I'll do,
spot
yeah,
or?
but I'll mix when
Yeah,
if it's
okay.
okay with you.
Okay, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Doesn't matter to me. Okay.
yeah.
So take a deep breath. Even though I have all of this sadness,
Even though I have all of this sadness,
all of this pain,
all of this pain,
because so what is it? What was it you were? I started saying even though I. Is that how you want to do it? Do you want to do it as I, or do you want to do it for her?
high is fine. High is fine
I.
with me. Yeah,
Okay.
because I can.
superimpose the
Yeah,
feelings.
yeah.
So the sadness is that she can't reach, what was it again? Sadness that,
She's not happy.
okay, even
Yeah.
though I have all of the sadness
Even though I have all of the sadness,
because she's not happy.
because I'm not
I'm
happy.
not,
Yeah.
okay. All of
Yeah.
the sadness because I'm not happy.
All of this sadness because I'm not happy.
And I'm really pissed off
I'm really pissed off
that I'm not happy,
that I'm not happy.
that I can't get past this,
That I can't get past this.
that I'm stuck in this feeling.
That I'm stuck in this feeling.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I'm stuck doing something I don't want to do.
Even though I'm stuck doing something I don't want to do.
I feel like I'm in prison.
I feel like I'm in prison.
Like I don't have a choice.
Like I don't have a choice.
I feel like the possibility
I feel like the possibility
and the potential
and the potential
of my doing whatever I want
of me doing whatever I want
is not open to me.
is not open to me.
It's not available to me.
It's not available to me.
It's available to other people,
It's available to other people,
but not to me.
but not to me.
And that really pisses me off.
That really pisses me off.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I have all of this sadness
Even though I have all of the sadness
because I'm not happy,
because I'm not happy,
I deeply and completely love and accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Okay, so you're not happy because
Because I'm not where I want to be.
even though I'm not happy
Even though I'm not happy
because I'm not where I want to be,
because I'm not where I want to be.
I'm angry at myself.
I'm angry at myself.
I'm disappointed in myself.
I'm disappointed in myself.
I'm ashamed of myself
I'm ashamed of myself
for not being where I want to be.
for not being where I want to be.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I am angry at myself,
Even though I am angry at myself,
disappointed in myself,
disappointed in myself,
ashamed of myself
ashamed of myself
for not being where I want to be,
for not being where I want to be.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
And I'm working on releasing all of those feelings
And I'm working on releasing all of those feelings
across all lifetimes and all dimensions.
across all lifetime and all dimension.
I don't want to carry these feelings anymore.
I don't want to carry these feelings again.
I just want to let them go.
I just want to let them go.
And even though
And even though
I have felt imprisoned
I have felt in prison
in my tower,
in my tower,
I felt like I didn't have any choices.
I felt like I didn't have any choices.
I'm working on letting that go too.
I'm working on letting that go too.
I wonder who that belongs to.
I wonder who that belongs to.
And whoever it belongs to,
And whoever it belongs to,
I'm sending it back.
I'm sending it back.
I don't need that anymore.
I don't need that anymore.
I don't need to stay safe anymore.
I don't need to stay safe anymore.
For whatever reason I was keeping that
For whatever reason, I was keeping that
limitation,
limitation,
that feeling imprisoned,
that feeling in prison,
not allowing myself to see bigger,
not allowing myself to see bigger,
to feel bigger.
to feel bigger.
I'm letting all of that go.
I'm letting all of that go.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Okay, so tell me again,
Sorry.
you're not happy because?
See, when we were tapping, I was thinking about. See, there's always the freaking two sides of the coin that I'm talking about, and the black and white. I think that there are cycles in life, and the thing is that I don't know where I picked that up, but like I feel unhappy and disappointed of not being where I want to be, but at the same time, I'm pumping children's one after the other. And this, I mean, when you decide, I mean, I'm symbolically, can I really be like full action towards my business goals while en gestation?
No,
The answer is no. But
no, you can't.
why cannot I in my brain make the difference between now is the time to rest,
Right, yeah.
just be there and be like my body is producing another living being inside of me,
Yeah.
and
And you've got two other little
energy
ones.
for that.
And you have been, this is my theory. I'm not a psychologist or anything, but this is just
Yeah,
my theory. I think that in the first year, even 2 years,
yeah,
you're treading water, right? And it takes a while to sort of get back to who you are. If
uh-huh.
you're having 2, 3 kids like back to back like that,
Mm-hmm.
you're years and years and years without really being yourself. That is
Yeah.
tiring and overwhelming.
And
So,
I know it in my brain,
yeah,
and I keep
but you're
saying to my
judging yourself
husband,
for it.
yeah,
You're judging yourself. So
mm,
let's work on that. Let's work
yeah,
on that.
because
Because I
I
think,
would like to. This is what
yeah,
I would like to, and I always tell Jocelyn, puis je vais te dire en français, je dis you're in t'es dans un mode action. Moi, je suis
right,
en mode gestation.
right,
That's the time to just stand still
yeah.
and just be there for what I'm creating right
I think
now.
it's more about so it's about your expectations because there's no reason why you can't work with a client here and there
Mm-hmm.
once or twice a week. But the problem is it's the expectation that you have of yourself
Uh-huh.
and the value, the judgment you're placing on that somehow that means you're a failure or something.
Well, it has to be like
So,
a full business that works like full out, or it's
yeah.
nothing. It's always that duality that
So
I
that's
was
what, yeah, so
telling
we need
about.
to work on that because you should be able to, it's your joy and it's your passion. So you should be able to do it every now and then when you want to without having such judgment and value placed on it so that you can enjoy doing it because it's what you enjoy doing. And if, you don't do any sessions for a year because you're being a mom to 3 girls and with a baby, let's get that out of there so that you can just enjoy being who
This
you
is what
are
I would
being.
like to do, because
Yeah.
this is the commitment I made to myself, that I would put the coaching. No, I would keep reading about it.
I
I
think
would.
it's also, and it's also related, sorry, I'm interrupting you, but it's also related to the fact that you don't like your job. So we need to work on that as well
Ouais.
because it's a chicken and egg kind of thing because you don't like your job because it's not your passion and when you're at your job you're so um not being full-time in your business and having that working is making you hate your job.
Mm-hmm.
And then hating your job is making you want that full-time business so that you can leave your job. So it's like this sort of
Ouais.
cycle. So we need to cut it somewhere and then, work on you not being so pissed off at your job and being okay with it because that also is all about lack, right? The consciousness of lack. Lack is not just about money. Lack is about everything. So if you're sitting in this sort of belief that if I don't do any work for a year, there won't be anything left, or all of a sudden my talent will all like go out the window,
Mm-hmm.
or nobody will know about me. I won't have any clients or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. Any
Mm-hmm.
of those beliefs that you have about the possibility of not working, let's say for a year, we should work on releasing that because that is the consciousness of lack, and that's the
Yeah.
antithesis of abundance, and it's not spiritual truth, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
So, what is your fear when you think about not doing any? And again, I'm not suggesting you not do any work at all. It comes back to choice. So it goes back to the oracle.
Ouais,
It's
ouais.
about choosing And knowing that that choice is available to you. So again, like the oracle who doesn't understand that she actually has a choice, it's about choosing, to slow down, choosing to just enjoy your life, which
Yeah.
is, regular work until you're off on mat leave, or,
Right.
enjoying mat leave and then taking it from there, right? Whatever it is. So you could choose to continue to just see clients whenever you have them, or once a week, or you say, this Tuesday night is the night that I take clients.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have a client, I'll book them on Tuesday. If I don't have a client that week, no big deal, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just gravy, it's just extra, and it's just pleasurable. And anyway, but that if you happen to slow down consciously, that's okay as well. So when you think about that possibility of not, so let's go to the extreme, let's say of not doing any energy work because it's too much, it's getting tiring.
Yeah.
How does that feel then? What are the fears around?
I feel like I'm missing opportunities.
Like what do you mean? Like to grow your business, like networking or just marketing opportunities, like
no,
that
not
kind
marketing. Like it's like I don't know the exact words. It's like I chose not to do any energy work so I could focus on the military and then my pregnancy. But when I talk to like you or my friend that is hypnotherapist, or if I see Facebook threads on the EFT tapping group, then I feel bad because I'm not doing anything. That I should be out there getting experience.
Okay, but why?
Wasting time.
Why should you?
I'm wasting my time.
You're wasting your time because you should be.
I should be actively helping people because that's my gift and this is what I'm here for. That's my life mission. So I should go out there helping people.
Okay. So, and if you don't do that,
I think I'm chasing a sense of, yeah.
So if you don't do that, are you pissing off God? Like, what's the fear if I don't do that? Who's going to be mad at you? What's the big deal if you don't do that?
I don't know who, but I feel like I'm wasting valuable time to helping people, and I am in the need of sentiment de reconnaissance. Not sentiment de reconnaissance, feeling, sentiment d'accomplissement.
Okay.
I want to feel like I'm doing something, like that's worth it.
Okay. Okay, so even though I have this fear,
I
have all of this fear
of
not doing my energy work,
and
all that means, I'm afraid of being judged. I'm afraid of pissing someone or something off. So your oracle in her tower, what happens to her if she stops? If she just said, you know what, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. What happens to her?
They're going to throw her out. She's not going to be... She is nothing. She's garbage if she's not doing it.
Yeah. So even though she's garbage I'm garbage if I don't do it.
I'm
not worthy I'm worthless if I'm not doing my helping work.
I'm worthless if I'm not doing my helping work.
The work that I consider to be helping work. I'm the one who's putting that value on that work.
I'm the one putting the value on that work.
I'm the one who's judging the other work I do.
I'm the one judging the other work I do.
I'm the one who's placing value and judgment on being a parent.
I'm the one putting the value and judgment on being parent.
I'm working for the army.
I'm working for the army.
I'm judging all of it.
I'm judging all of it.
No one else is.
No one else is.
And maybe,
just
by being me, I can be helping people all the time.
I can be helping people all the time.
Just by being me. Maybe I add value to the world.
Maybe I add value to the world.
To my employer.
To
my colleagues.
To my colleagues.
To my family. Just by being me.
And being there. And being there.
Yeah.
So that's the feeling of, it's hard for me to be present.
Yeah.
I'm always up there.
Well, yeah, you're in a tower somewhere.
I'm always in my head. I'm always...
Yeah.
It's super hard for me to be connected. I rarely feel rooted.
Yeah. So even though I'm garbage if I'm not doing my energy work.
I'm garbage if I'm not doing my energy work.
I'm garbage if I'm not helping people through my coaching practice.
I'm garbage if I'm not helping people through my coaching practice.
It's not enough for me to just be me.
It's not enough for me to just be me.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself. See, I would like to picture that oracle just leaving the tower for a moment and just feel the grass.
Yeah. But see, that's a shift, because at the beginning you couldn't even, that wasn't even part of it. You were like, I just want her to be able to choose it and be happy. And now you want her to go outside and feel the grass. So something's shifted there. T'as-tu des Kleenex à côté de toi?
That's good.
C'est correct?
Yeah.
So what's that you're feeling? The sadness at her being stuck, or what are you feeling? So let's just do this. Even though I just want her to go outside and feel the grass.
Even though I just want her to go outside and feel the grass.
Any resistance that she's feeling to that.
Any resistance that she's feeling to that.
Any fear about that.
Any fear about that.
And all of my sadness because she can't do it.
And all of my sadness because she can do it.
I'm working on letting all of that go.
I'm working on letting all of that go.
I'm sending her so much love.
I'm sending her so much love.
And even though she can't see it.
And even though she can't see it.
I can see it.
I can see it.
And even though she's scared.
And even though she is scared.
Of going out to feel the grass under her feet.
Going out and just feel the grass under her feet.
She's been in that tower for so long.
She's been in that tower for so long.
She's not grounded.
She's not grounded.
She hasn't felt the ground in a long time.
She hasn't felt the ground in a long time. Disconnected from life. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's disconnected from the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though she's been disconnected from life.
Even though she's been disconnected from life.
And from the world.
And from the world.
And she's just been used.
And she's just been used. Like she's not important. Well, she is, but like only a part of her.
Right.
Yeah.
And yet all her value is in being that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Itchy pregnant bellies. Huh?
Yeah.
So even though she's really scared to leave the tower.
Even though she's really scared to leave the tower.
For whatever reason.
For whatever reason.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Take a deep breath. Okay. So tell me how she feels now about leaving the tower to go stand on the grass and feel the grass under her feet.
Uh,
Is she still scared? Is she
she
nervous?
doesn't know. It seems all possible. Like you know what? Barely, I barely feel a tower now.
Okay.
I can only see like green
Okay.
everywhere. Like
So can
she's
you
outside, but she's like floating somewhere. She's not down. She's not on the ground yet.
Okay, so why don't you hold your arms out to her and see and invite her to come to you
Mm-hmm.
and just stand on the grass and see if that feels okay to her or if she's for some reason doesn't want to.
Mm. She seems far. It's hard for me to get close to her.
I mean, is she okay or are you
Yeah, no,
just
she's okay, but
okay?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
Maybe we've just released her.
It's like I can't find her anywhere, but it
Okay.
feels like she's just like in a twilight zone or another, like in between. She's gone somewhere, but I feel. On dirait qu'elle flotte quelque part. She's floating somewhere.
And she's free? She's feeling free?
Oui, she has no
Okay.
boundaries around her, but I'm just wondering why can't she just put her feet on the ground?
Well, why do you need her to? If she's free,
Yeah.
maybe she's just enjoying that freedom. Maybe she's enjoying the expansiveness. Why does she need her feet on the ground?
Yeah, cause she's my soul, right? I have my feet on the ground, so that's good.
Yeah. You've let her out of the tower.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as she's happy.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask her if you can connect to her at all? Ask her if there's anything she'd like to choose. What's her choice now? She has choice. She can do whatever she wants. She can go where she wants. Be what she wants.
She wants to just go fly to places. She just wants to travel.
Okay, so that's great.
Yeah.
Okay,
And she can fly.
that's great. And I'm
She's a
sure.
soul anyway, so she can go wherever she wants.
Mhm. And she can come back and work with you if she wants to. You can work with her
Uh-huh.
and learn from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Support each other. And maybe you can let's bring that energy of freedom and flying and choosing to just do whatever she wants to do, going wherever she wants to go.
Yeah.
Let's pull that energy all through the layers of your DNA, the multidimensional layers of your DNA, pulling through that energy of total freedom and expansiveness. That it's okay to be who you are. And it's okay for you to do what you want to do. Even if that means just being human for a while. So take a deep breath. I want you to go back to thinking about not having a full-time coaching practice, not doing your, just doing it whenever it happens, just, you know, backing off of it a little bit and not having that intensity around it, I guess.
See, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
But I'm still like eager to do it.
But that's different though.
Non, ouais, je comprends. I understand, yeah.
You can be eager to do it, and that's great. That's excitement. That's because it's your passion and you love doing it.
Uh-huh.
As long as there isn't heaviness around it and the expectation, and I have to because, that's my path, and if I don't do it, God's going to punish me, or there's something wrong with me,
I
or I'm
spend
not,
so much money on the training and everything. I should.
or I'm garbage if I don't do it.
Ouais. Il y a beaucoup
Okay, so let's work on the money part.
Yeah, because I've invested a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like.
So what?
So I need to. Comment je pourrais dire ça? I need to make. C'est quoi, je sais pas comment le dire.
I understand.
J'ai dépensé ça. I wanna get the money back and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're assuming you have to get it back that way.
No, je sais, j'avoue. But this is how they kind of.
But it's the value. It's also the value thing, right? Like I spent the money on that, so I have to go with that. This is this idea that you can't go back on a decision. That if I make a decision, I have to keep following through on it, and that's BS, right?
Nice,
like that's the same mentality that I chose this guy, so I'm going to stay with him forever because I made that choice.
Ouais. It's the way they teach you at Peaks. That's the way they teach you. Like they will make you purchase a course or a training saying that if you follow the procedure and the step by step how to do it, then you can make so much money in your business that you're gonna pay back
if you don't, you're a failure.
Ben oui. Yeah. So I feel a bit like a failure because I spent all that money, like thousands of money.
Yeah.
And I'm the one I'm one of those in that room that didn't make anything out of it.
Yeah. It's like any MLM companies, right? There are people who do really well with them and there are a lot of people who don't.
Ouais.
And then they feel like shit because they've spent money on it.
Ouais.
It's just not going to be everybody who's going to be.
C'est la façon qu'ils te brainwash dans les cours.
Yeah.
In my coaching training, never I was confronted to that type of thinking, but when I studied with Peak Potential, it was everything. Like if you're not like you doing your training, if the morning after your training you haven't started to implement what you learned, then you're wrong and you're a failure.
Yeah. So. Okay, so let's work on that.
Yeah. But il y a aussi de la déception. There's also disappointment because you believe that you're the one sitting in that room that's going to make huge income out of what you're learning because this is what you want to do and you're passionate about it. And when it doesn't happen, and I ended up in financial crisis because of that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking back and I say, wow, was I wrong to invest in all of this? There's disappointment.
Shame.
A lot.
Shame, guilt.
Am I ashamed? Guilty, no. Maybe shame and disappointment, but disappointment is higher than shame.
Okay. Even though I'm really disappointed in myself.
Even though I'm really disappointed in myself.
For spending the money or for not making it back?
For not making it back.
I'm really disappointed in myself.
I'm very disappointed in myself.
For not making the money back.
For not making the money back.
I failed.
I failed.
And I'm really disappointed in myself.
I'm really disappointed in myself.
I have all of this anger towards myself.
I have all this anger towards myself.
I even have a little bit of hatred towards myself.
I even have a little bit of hatred towards myself.
For disappointing myself.
For disappointing myself.
For being a failure.
For being a failure.
For not living up to their expectations.
For not living up to their expectation.
For not living up to their sales pitch.
For not living up to their sales pitch.
I thought this was the key.
I thought this was the key.
I thought this was my golden ticket.
I thought this was my golden ticket.
And maybe my golden ticket is me.
And maybe my golden ticket is me. What I learned is just extra.
Yeah. I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Take a deep breath. Any teacher, any modality should really just help you bring out what's inside of you, right? Should just bring you extra tools, bring you extra healing, but everything, it should always be about your truth, your wisdom emerging. Because I really, really, I know and believe, I know this to be true, I believe it to be true, that if each one of us, just let that true self emerge and just spoke from that place of wisdom and truth, we would always all be helping each other. We would always be in that space, right?
Yeah.
So it's not anybody else who's going to do that for you, but that's, it's going into that mentality that, that's the thing that's going to do it for me, right? And it shouldn't be that way. It should just be, this is unblocking things or unlocking things that are, unlocking my own wisdom, right? My own truth and my own spirituality, my own abundance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about that before we started the call, about how it's not about it coming to you, but it coming out from within you, right?
You gotta say, hey, toi puis le ciel t'aidera, comme maman dit.
But listen, you were telling me about how, you told me about how they taught about budgeting and money and stuff like that. And that's, there's probably some place for it somewhere, but it's certainly not spiritual concept or beliefs the way they're teaching it, right? But if you think about it, what you're just saying is they're teaching lack consciousness. With the way they're teaching you to manage your money and everything, which seems like good, it's the kind of thing that you hear from people all the time. And I'm not going to go into it for, we talked about it earlier. But what they're doing is they're reinforcing lack. If you think about it, so they're reinforcing lack consciousness and then making themselves your key to wealth.
Uh-huh.
It's a perfect system for them.
Right, because you keep buying their courses because the way they do their marketing from the stage, they're targeting your need of being more and say, well, you have a passion, you can build whatever you want out of your passion. Yes, okay, agree. But you gotta take our course because you're not gonna do it.
And
if you don't have
they're
our course.
reinforcing that by the way they teach you about money and budgeting and stuff like that.
Ouais, c'est ça.
They're reinforcing it, right? Okay.
And they're really, if you're not buying the course and you're sitting there in the room, they literally look at you and say, well, good luck.
Yeah.
And they leave you there.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead and spend that 10 grand US that you don't have. And if you don't, then you're not going to succeed in that business.
Yeah, it's like Scientology. We talked about this. Right.
Yeah.
It's like Scientology. Okay, so disappointment. So go back to that feeling of I'm disappointed that I didn't make the money back. Is that still there?
But a little bit.
I want to go. So go on your sore spot.
What?
Even though I really regret spending the money.
Even though I really regret spending the money.
I regret wasting my money on them.
I regret spending my money on them.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I don't know. I loved what I learned with them, though. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that was so amazing. It's just that I chose something else. I mean,
yeah, and that's okay.
Take my 2.5 kids out of the picture. I could be a super successful coaches teaching internationally, I chose to have a family. So I cannot, I mean, it wasn't an option for me to be in the military,
Yeah, but
build my family.
you're
What?
also assuming that if you didn't have a family, that you would have been able to go big with it.
I
But that
I
might
could
not
have.
be.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's
because
just
there's
that.
plenty,
Mm,
there's a lot of stuff that is sitting inside of you that's keeping you small. We've talked about, right?
Well, way.
Like
But
même
there's
ça.
I mean, even when I just remember now. I remember when I started studying with them. The plan was always to when I retired from the military.
Mm.
I'm not retired yet.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just a human being. I'm not a superwoman.
yeah,
How can I have a full blast coaching business that is internationally renowned? I make it bigger, but
yeah, yeah,
being full time in the military and building my family at the same time, it's humanly impossible.
yeah, exactly.
So I gotta remember what I chose,
Yeah,
because it's always been the case. It's always been, I was sitting in all those seminars and training, and I say, oh, this is when I'm gonna retire. That's my plan B. That's my transition. I'm not even
mm,
transitioning right now. I'm still in the forces. I used my mat leave to start a transition earlier, and it didn't work
mm-hmm.
because it was too tiring. Because I went too fast.
So take a deep breath.
There's the superwoman, that part of me who just want to be a superwoman. I mean, you
Yeah,
remember our first session when I told you that when I was younger, I was constantly dreaming that I was a
yeah, yeah,
superhero.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I that part needs to come back to reality. Like that's never gonna happen.
Right.
And maybe it's the way I'm thinking about the oracle in the tower. What do you do when you're like when you hear people that are staying alone for a long time? Like if you hear those prisoners of war testimonial, or when they talk about their, or those who were taken for hostages, or and they were alone, what they do, they talk to themselves, they invent something, they do, they talk about, they imagine things so their brain can survive the pain. So maybe this is what she did in the tower. She had another, she, her real life was what's was in her head. So she completely suppressed who she was because it was too lonely and too painful. So she lived in the dream that it's not reality. So I need to break that cycle of I'm not there. I'm here. This is me. This is my fam. My kids are real. Sometimes I look at them. I don't even realize they're mine.
Mm-hmm.
I told that to Jocelyn today. I was looking at Swan and Sky and say, I literally told him, sometimes I'm just wondering how we came that far, and I look at my kids and I have a hard time believing they're mine.
Mm-hmm.
That I made them. Like they're me. Like I built that. Like wow.
So I want you to go back to that feeling of, well, first, let's check back in with the peak potential thing
Yeah.
and the money that you spent on that and that you didn't make it back.
Yeah.
And tell me if there's anything left. And not only that you didn't make it back, but that you were that one
Mhm.
person in the room who didn't succeed with it. So tell me if there's anything there around any of that.
Uh well, if not, if I like, if I bring, like, when, if I bring the consciousness of, wait, I was building my transition there, so it's normal that I'm not where other people are,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate comparing myself anyway to other people. So
Okay, so the feelings are gone around it? Or is there any feeling left?
I mean, I think that the feeling that's left is like I wish that I would have. It's hard to explain. Like I went to them in with the minding that it was the transition, but when I got into their system and their thinking and what I learned, I got so hooked up on it that I can't wait to start implementing everything.
Right.
So it's like I wish. Now it's gonna sound really mean, but I'm like
I got it.
Sometimes I'm asking myself, why am I if I really want to be that successful coach that travels everywhere, that makes conferences and that teach about PTSD and veterans and EFT, if I want to do that, why did 3 kids? That is pumping all of my energy and my time.
So many of us, you have a dream in your head, and on the inside there's fear and the safety and staying small. Right. We just went through a whole reason why that you're lady in the tower, right?
Est-ce que je m'ai auto-saboté en faisant des enfants, puis is taking care of my kids and making kids is my excuse for not going big? Like, oh no, I can't. I'm pregnant. Oh no, I can't. I have to take care of my kids. Is it a reason? I don't know.
It could be. It could be. That doesn't devalue your children or your life, your family life. Mm-hmm. It just, it's just part of the picture, right?
Because sometimes I would have these thoughts of, oh, if I didn't have my kids, I would be in the place I want to be.
Yeah. Okay, so go on the tapping. So even though my life would be completely different if I didn't have my kids.
My life would be completely different if I didn't have
my kids. C'est quoi que cliques?
Ah, c'est un... Je joue avec un chose aimantée. Sorry.
Even though my life would be so much better if I didn't have my kids.
Even though my life would be so much better if I didn't have any kids.
I would be so fulfilled if I didn't have my kids.
I would be so fulfilled. I would be happy.
I would be happy.
That is mean. I feel mean about saying this.
I feel really, really bad about my feelings.
I feel bad about my feelings. I mean, I shouldn't blame my children for my unhappiness. It's... fuck.
Even though I feel terrible. For being who I am.
For being who I am.
And having my feelings.
I
feel really bad for having my human feelings.
I feel very bad for having my human feelings.
And not being perfect. And trying to understand this duality. I'm just trying to figure everything out. And I'm letting all of this go now.
I just want to choose me. Yeah, this... I
mean, you're playing with that thing again. Tu joues encore avec ton...
Non, c'est des crayons, ça.
Ah, ok.
C'est mon ADHD qui kick in. J'ai pas d'ADHD, mais il faut toujours que... Non, mais tu sais, ça me fait penser quand tu me disais, est-ce que if the feeling of, oh, you're the only one in the room that has not making it, or you're that profile that's never gonna make it, whatever money you spend, and it's always coming back to just being me is not enough. Like I should be like. Sometimes I compare myself to people that have completely different lives than me.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel shame or disappointment of not doing XYZ, but that person doesn't have kids, and all she does in her life is coaching, teaching, doing conferences.
And you're comparing your insides to somebody else's outsides.
What if you... Yeah. So it's always that feeling of why should I be someone else? Why everybody else is better than me?
Because you're not good enough.
So that's always the same the same.
So we have to work on that. But this is the other thing is you should be, every time you get a feeling like that, you should work on that. You should have an awareness around it and tap on it
Ouais.
instead of just falling victim to it,
Ouais, c'est
right?
ça, c'est ça.
So when you're aware, it's the same thing with money. The minute you have anxiety or shame or fear
Ouais.
around it, you go to check your bank account and you get a do the tapping, right? Like every time
Ouais.
you have a bad feeling inside you, you can work, it's not about not wanting to have that feeling. It's totally normal to have these human feelings, but it's an
Ouais.
indicator of something. So look at it and say, okay, oh, that's interesting, right?
Yeah.
I'm having this feeling that's interesting. What does that mean? You know,
I don't even know how it feels not to compare myself. I don't
right.
know. I've never felt
But
it.
what I'm saying is, right,
Ouais.
but what I'm saying is when you feel jealous, when you feel
Ouais.
envy,
Ah
when you
ouais, ouais.
feel
Ouais.
shame for what you aren't, or
Ouais.
then you should be tapping on that when you've got the feeling and releasing it, because that's how you're going to gradually like peel through it,
Ouais.
right? And then
Ouais.
you'll have your little aha moments of, oh, and then you can, oops, the sorry about that.
Ouais.
I kicked the
Ouais.
wire
That's
of the
where that's the exactly, yeah. See, I'm all aware of all those feelings. I know when they appear. I know when they're there. I
don't,
freeze and I just not tap on it.
yeah.
So
So even though,
yeah.
yeah, even though I'm so afraid to be myself,
Even though I'm so afraid to be myself because I don't know what it is.
yeah,
That's new. I don't know who I am.
and being afraid to be yourself is what's self-sabotaging you or causing you not to tap,
Yeah.
because there's safety in staying the way you are, because you know
Ouais.
that,
Ouais.
right?
Yeah.
So even though I have all of this fear
Even though I have all of this fear
that being me isn't enough,
that being me isn't enough,
I deeply and completely love and accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I have all of this fear
Even though I have all of this fear
that being me isn't enough,
that being me isn't enough,
I deeply and completely love and accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely love and accept myself.
So why isn't being me, and why is that? Why do you have the fear that being me isn't enough? Where does that come from?
My mom. I
Okay.
learned that from my mom.
Okay.
I grew up, I came into this world through a woman that doesn't like herself and showed me through nonverbal and verbal behavior that she's not good enough.
Okay.
And she never will be, and she's still the same.
So even though I'm carrying my mother's pain
Even though I'm carrying my mother's pain
and I'm being loyal to her
and I'm being loyal to her
by replicating her behavior,
by replicating her behavior,
I'm trying to help her
I'm trying to help her
by carrying her pain.
by carrying her pain.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I've been carrying her pain.
Even though I've been carrying her pain.
Her pain of not loving herself.
Her pain of not loving herself.
Of not knowing herself.
Of not knowing herself.
She's so scared of herself.
She's so scared of herself.
That she hides in alcohol.
And she hides in alcohol.
And I came into this life.
And I came into this life.
Wanting to help her.
Wanting to help her.
And wanting to stay small.
And wanting to stay small.
It was a perfect combination.
It was a perfect combination.
I took on her pain to help her.
I took on her pain to help her.
The fear of being me.
The fear of being me.
And I stayed small.
And I stayed small.
And now I'm ready.
And now I'm ready.
To let that go.
To let that go.
To give her back her pain.
To give her back her pain.
It's not mine.
It's not mine.
And her pain might not be hers either.
And her pain might not be hers either.
But that's not my problem.
But that's not my problem.
It's not mine to carry.
It's not mine to carry.
And even though
she
might spend the rest of her life never learning anything about herself.
Never learning anything about herself.
She might spend the rest of her life
She might spend the rest of her life
being a victim.
being a victim.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
That's her life.
That's her life.
And her path.
And her path.
And it's all her choice.
And it's all her choice.
Whether or not she knows it.
Whether or not she knows it.
Whether or not she sees options.
Whether or not she sees options.
Maybe she too feels like that oracle in the tower.
Maybe she too feels like that oracle in the tower.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
And even though I've been staying small.
And even though I've been staying small.
To protect her.
To protect her.
And to protect myself.
And to protect myself.
For whatever reason.
For whatever reason.
I'm releasing that now.
I'm releasing that now.
I'm letting it go.
I'm letting it go.
Across all lifetimes and all dimensions.
Across all lifetime and all dimension.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
All of this fear of being me.
All of this fear of being me.
I'm letting it go.
I'm letting it go.
Through the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA.
To the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA.
I don't need that fear anymore.
I don't need that fear anymore.
I'm safe in this life.
I'm safe in this life.
It's time for me to just enjoy myself.
It's time for me to just enjoy myself.
To stop trying to be somebody else.
To stop trying to be somebody else.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
You take a deep breath.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. That was good. That was good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ask me how I feel. I don't know.
I think that was a big piece.
Yeah.
Did that feel like a big piece?
Why?
Yeah.
It was just feeling good just to say the words, but yeah. I have to keep working on it though. I have to keep like tapping on these feeling every time she gets to me in a way of things she does or things she says or that reminds kind of mirror me the part I don't like in me.
Yeah.
I gotta tap on it and so I could be more confident in front of her and I want it to be clear that I mean whatever you want to do with your stuff that's you.
Yeah.
I'm choosing
something different
or just at least voice it over like when she does something that I don't like. I want to be able to say, hey, that's not in my house.
Yeah.
You can do it in your house if you want, but not in mine.
So you've got to look at, so if you're thinking about that, then you've got to look at why don't I do that? What's the fear? I'm afraid I'm going to lose her. I'm afraid I'm going to hurt her.
Or, it's the fear of, what makes sense to me is the fear of, it's easier not to say anything because if we say anything and she gets hurt, like by her perception, if she gets hurt, then this is way much harder to manage.
Yeah. And it's hard to manage because you care, because you're letting it affect you. If you were able to just be like, all right, have your reaction, like a child having a tantrum, right? You can cater to the tantrum, or you can just be like, okay, go have your tantrum.
Yeah, but
right?
But Sissy, it's the infamous triangle of say victime, bourreau, sauveur.
Yeah.
Say that we're all in that cycle. So when she becomes the victim, then we all there to help her, and then
right.
She
but what I'm saying, but you don't have to be in it. So you have to make the choice to get out of that triangle. You have to make the choice that, just like the oracle in the tower, you thought didn't have a choice, and I kept saying, yeah, she does. She does. She just doesn't realize that she has it, right?
It would be so easy if she was like a mean person, but she is.
No, it wouldn't be easier if she was mean, because this is just like a normal. So we need to work. You need to look at what your fears are, what so you said the fear is that, then she's harder to manage. But again, she's only hard to manage because you're letting it bother you.
Ouais.
So again, I'm giving the example that when a child has a tantrum, you can get caught up in it. You can walk in the drama, you can step into it with
Mhm.
them, or you can say, "You go have it. It doesn't affect me.
Mhm.
I don't care.
Ouais. But
Doesn't bother me."
there's other feeling as well involved, and like
I know, but that's why
ouais.
all of that is stuff that we can work on
Ouais, ouais,
releasing.
c'est ça. Il y a ça, plus, tu sais, she's such a generous person. Like, she helps me all the time with the kids. Like, she takes them when I call her, hey, do you want to take the girls? With that
Yeah.
night, she says yes. She lended me, like, so much money that I still owe her. Like, in deep inside, I don't have the right to be mean to her or to
So we
say
all of
no.
that, right? So all of those things we
All
need
of
to
those
work on.
things. So I just want to, like, I'm buying, j'achète la paix. I'm buying peace with her because I owe her that much.
Yeah, you're prostituting yourself.
Ouais. Ouais.
So, and that's okay. I mean, we all do it.
Mm-hmm.
We all do it. And you know what? If you were choosing to do it, so again, it's about choice, right?
Ouais.
If you were choosing to do this, like it's not that it's not okay for you to buy the peace. As long as you're okay with it, as long as you're at peace with it. But you're not because you're
No, no, I'm
resentful,
not. I'm
you're
not.
angry, you're pissed off.
Uh-huh.
So that's not a good place. So it doesn't mean that you have to, like, getting to a place where you're not affected by her tantrum doesn't mean that you have to write her off and not spend time with her. It just means you don't have to. The other thing is working on the emotions, working on your anger and the stuff that gets triggered is going to lessen your reaction to her.
Ouais, ouais.
So you're not going to get triggered as much, so it's not going to be as much of a big deal. And then you can still say, "Look, I don't want you doing this in my home." That's, I mean, without being so anxious about it, right?
Ouais.
But you're giving her control over you
Ouais,
by
ouais.
fearing that she's gonna. So there's the two elements. She helps you, so there's the fear that she'll stop helping you, the fear that you'll lose her, the fear that, she'll just decide to walk out or something, and then there's the feeling, and that you have to put up with her stuff because she's given you money. But all of it is stuff to be worked on.
Oh, ouais.
All of
Non,
it
c'est
is
clair.
stuff that you can tap on to get to a place where you're at peace,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll stop there.
Yeah.
And what were we talking about? I just want to check in though before we went to this stuff about not being. Oh, we were talking about being small and not being afraid of being you, right? Like I'm
Ouais.
not good enough.
Ouais.
So let's pull back from the drama with your mom, the mama drama, and come back to the place of just me being me,
Ouais.
right? Not being necessarily just me being me right now, being a mom, being what I've chosen to be instead of.
I don't know.
Okay, so you're tired. So that's
Ouais.
okay. So just let me know in the coming days how
I
you
mean,
feel.
I don't
And
feel like, aha, everything's open and I'm good and I'm
and no,
scared.
there's more work to
No,
be done.
I.
First of all, you're tired. Second of all, because it's
Oh, il est quasiment 10
9:26.
heures. Yeah.
It's late. Second of all, we just released a big thing. When we were working with your mom and stuff, we shifted something, and that creates often tiredness and that feeling kind of foggy of like I can't access anything, right?
Yeah.
And so just see how you feel in the coming days,
Yeah.
and then write stuff down and send it to me, right? Like tune in to, tune so we know there's still stuff with your mom, but tune into how you feel about not being where you think you want to be,
Ouais.
how that feels, and
Ouais.
all of that stuff, and
OK.
we'll go from there next time.
Yes.
Okay?
Parfait.
All right, so while you're still on, I'm going to try to
Je vais arrêter.